What's up, guys? So we have a 5th generation Ipod Classic 80 gigabyte. Customer states that it has a hard drive issue and he just wants to go ahead and replace it with a 128 gigabyte flash upgrade. He also mentions that the center button is not functioning also, and there's no click there. So there's probably some buildup underneath there. So let's open it up and see what we can do. So these thicker iPods are so much easier to open. So like the 5th gens are way easier to open than the 6th or 7th gens. The thin ones like the 120 and the 160 and the 80 gigabyte, I guess. So just get in there a wee bit. You just go around releasing the clips. Very easy to get into. Okay, now in all of my other videos, like I always say, you don't want to just rip the case off. You have a battery cable right here that's running right about here. And if you pull it off, you could rip the battery connector off the motherboard. Also, you don't want to just pull up on the battery cable too. You can also rip it off. So really what you want to do is grab a spudger, hold down, and then pull up on the battery cable, releasing that, and then bam, there you go. Battery feels swollen to the touch. I will ask the customer if he wants that replaced as well since I'm here. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do, to release that. And all we did on that, there's this little flapper guy right there. And then that goes up, and then you pull the cable out. Then we're going to release the hard drive. This right there just pulls up, and out the hard drive comes. So first thing we're going to check out is this this center button that is kind of depressed in the middle there. Like there's no give to it. There's no bounce on. There's no click feeling when you push it in. Okay, so there's 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's take all those out real quick. I'll speed this up for you guys so you don't have to sit here watching me unscrew a bunch of screws. Okay, all screws out. Now we can just set this down, press down on the scroll wheel while pulling up on the case, and that releases. Oops. Okay, so that makes sense why that's happening. So you can see here on all of the pads, they have these little black sticky things. And what that does, it gives enough height for, this little thing in the middle here. It gives, these black things give the button enough height to make contact with this to push the button down. So I'm going to just make sure that the button still actually clicks. And it does. I don't know if you can hear that. So what we are going to do, we are just going to recenter this button. Not the button, but the little pad on top. Just going to move it back to the center of the button. We have good click there. Now we can put this back together. Oops. Mistake. Okay, let's make sure all the buttons function. Yep, that center is now functioning like it should be. Okay, so let's throw the screws back in. I'll fast forward this too. Talk to you in a sec. All screws back in. Buttons feel good. We have here our Tarkin eye flash. Now I just got to find what I did with the SD card. Well, there's the 128 SD card. Now I just got to find the adapter. There we are. Okay, so before we install that, we want to put the aux port back in. So I flipped up that little tab, and we'll just slide. See if I can zoom in on this so you guys can see a little bit better. That's all I got for zoom. Trying to get my fat hands out of the way for you. Get in there. Okay, she's in. And we just have to flip the tab down. There it is. Unzoom. Okay, so the next, let's ready the battery cable. Where's my, oh, hello. My handy dandy battery cable lifter upper tool, also known as a paperclip. So we'll take our spudger, we'll hold down on the white part right here on the very end so we don't accidentally rip the battery connector off the motherboard. Just kind of work it in the back here. There she is. We got some gunk on the ribbon cable there. And as far as the battery goes, I will contact the customer and ask him if he wants me to replace it while I'm in here. I'll do that off camera. That's not really a big deal. So let's get this put back together, and then we can make sure it all syncs with iTunes. All right, it's kind of washed out, but that's the screen we want to see. So I'm going to plug it in on my computer, and I will see you at the computer. Okay, I am back. So we have the language menu. Everything's seems to be working good. Let's listen to some music and make sure everything is working correctly. Let me grab a pair of headphones. Scroll wheel feels good. Pause works. Next works. Previous works. Menu, center. Both headphones are working. Each ear is working. And the hold button's working. All right. Well, I would call this one a success. All I have to do now is message the owner and see if they want me to replace their battery. But at this point, I think we can call this one a success. And if he wants to change the battery, I will swap it for him off camera. So that's it for today. Thanks, guys.